Find Stephen K. Bannon in contempt of Congress.
Mark Meadows is being held in contempt of Congress for refusing to cooperate.
Contempt of Congress.
The phrase is everywhere.
2 counts of contempt of Congress.
Contempt of Congress.
But what exactly does contempt of Congress mean? Let's open our DC dictionary. In its most basic sense, contempt of Congress is when a person interferes with congressional action. Currently, it's a misdemeanor charge, generally used when people don't show up at hearings they've been subpoenaed for or when they don't provide subpoenaed documents.
You can invoke your Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination to specific questions if you think you committed a crime. You can claim executive privilege to specific questions if you think you're President of the United States. But you cannot blow off a subpoena in America.
Recently, former Attorney General Eric Holder was held in contempt of Congress for refusing to turn over documents related to a counter-narcotics strategy.
We never moved toward contempt until the flow of meaningful documents dried up.
The online forum Backpage was also held in contempt for refusing to turn over documents related to sex trafficking.
And Mr. President, I urge my colleagues to vote yes on this resolution and vindicate the authority of Congress to obtain information necessary for sound legislation to protect the most vulnerable among us.
And more recently, former presidential advisor Steve Bannon was held in contempt and indicted after no showing for a subpoenaed hearing. Contempt of Congress is a tradition Congress brought over from British Parliament. But in 1917, the Supreme Court affirmed the power in Marshall v. Gordon.
If we fail to uphold Congress's power to compel information, then we cease to be a co-equal branch of government.
As the January 6th Select Committee continues its investigation, threats of contempt charges are all around.
We will hold you in contempt.
But Congress doesn't have the final say when it comes to charges. Congress votes whether or not they want to find somebody criminally contempt, but it's up to the Department of Justice if the case is prosecuted. Until recently, it had been more than 35 years since the DOJ indicted somebody charged with contempt of Congress. If the DOJ indicts and there's a conviction, the person will have a fine of $100 to $1,000 and spend between a month and a year behind bars. That's contempt of Congress. Do you have any other DC dictionary ideas? Let me know in the comments below.